All right. Game. I remember how to. Hello, everybody. This is aaron2u2. I'm here with Schmitty Games, and we are presenting King's Bounty for you for the Sega Genesis. Hey, Schmitty.
Hey, Aaron. How's it going?
Doing great. Sorry, I just decided to get a last drink in there. Yoo-hoo. Wonderful.
Yoo-hoo?
Yes. The marathon drink of choice. And I want to start here in a minute. Do you want to kind of go over what we're going to do real quick?
All right. For those unaware of King's Bounty, it's basically an overworld search kind of a game. And the main draw to it for me, and I believe Aaron as well, is that every overworld location is always the same, but they are randomized at the start of each run. Your objective is to gather up leadership and money, and locate where the villains are on the map, and eventually defeat them to bring peace to the kingdom. Your ultimate objective is to find the scepter, and we will be doing that. But we have to go through, oh, I forgot the exact number. I feel so bad.
There are, now I forgot too. There's 17 villains?
17 villains, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we have to kill all of them, and we have to find the 8 artifacts. Now, you don't have to, but this category requires it. I'm going to start here in just a moment, and I'll let you describe that. We're playing on easy because all that does is make the game more difficult. This is a speed run, and there's no reason for us to do that. So,
Yeah, we're not really playing for score, and it gives us more days, more time to use.
Well, I'm going to start the timer here in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Let's get a world record.
It's possible. Oops. Hey, teleporter right off the bat.
All right, with this run, you always start in the same place, and that first town will always have the same useless spell.
Getting the right spells is very important. I'll be checking every town to see where I can find them, because it'll decide the entire strategy for the game, depending on what we don't find, if we manage to not find anything.
Right now you see him grabbing treasure chests. These can be any number of 12 different things. Usually it's either gold or leadership choice, but sometimes it's other good stuff. You also find the map to the next areas there.
Oops. No.
Resurrect. The spells we're looking for early on are Raise Control, Instant Army, and Town Gate and Castle Gate. If we can find early access to all of those, we can get this game done really quick.
If we don't, you'll see this route was actually made by Schmitty. I'm doing a lot of stuff that he kind of input into the game. He did a lot of research about which way is the most efficient. I'm not doing it quite as efficiently as I should because I'm a little nervous, but...
Oh, there's Town Gate. Should make you breathe a little easier.
Forgot that. Oh, the town. Okay.
So if the main spell we're looking for out of the towns is Raise Control. It's the most important spell for the speedrun, because what it does is it artificially inflates our leadership and lets us recruit a ton more soldiers than we would be allowed to otherwise. If we can find that before we have to fight any bosses, that's a wonderful thing to happen.
You'll see me tagging a lot of different places. These are for Town Gate and Castle Gate spells, and also to get information about where the villains are, because their locations are randomized at the beginning of the game. So eventually I will get an army where I'll need to teleport around real fast. Those Town Gate spells help with that.
Yeah, essentially if you have access to the full spellbook for the speedrun, this is a 40-minute run at worst in most cases. Like if you get additional good luck, like early access to, there's the articles. If you get like early access to a flight creature that lets you fly around the map instead, that can also substantially shorten the time it takes to complete the run. Hey, there's Castle Gate.
I keep forgetting to write the name of the town. Okay. Yeah, I do take a little bit of notes here to At least in this first world. After this, it's only just the spells, but here I can get a little bit of help get around a little bit. Okay, so I think we found all of our villains. Drag him. Hey, look. I don't want to fight anybody yet. Generally, the guys in the overworld you don't want to fight because it takes up time.
Yeah, you want to. Well, at least you have a buffer raise control out of the box. You found 3 of the 4 spells you need all of the villains, so.
Yep. If I get to that one. We found all of the castles we need to, but we're missing one really important spell, and that is the raise control spell. However, if this were a speedrun, we'd probably reset. I mean, like a regular sort of normal condition one, but we're not going to do that here. Do this actually. There's one more town I haven't seen. What did that town have? Again, I forgot.
Lightning.
Okay. Keep accidentally canceling the... Okay.
So once we, the thing I always liked about this run is that even though the map's always the same, it still took me a couple minutes to get my footing, learning where everything was every run. So I always enjoyed that aspect of it. Kinda hoping for the miracle in Zoctan, huh?
Yeah. It'd be nice. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to kind of make do, and raise control is the most important one of the things. So.
Well, I mean, fortunately, you did get that once. There it is, the miracle in Zoctan. Look at you.
Alright. Oh, my magic look. Okay. I'm going to actually take a fight here. Get rid of that delay because it's really long. We're gonna burn off of our spells here. Try to turn undead. That's right. And now I'm just going to, you know what? We'll just finish it off. Because this is kind of where I needed to go anyway. There we go. We got our spells we need. Town Gate to Hunterville. And now we wait. And waiting gets us money. We get paid for this. I probably should have canceled my boat, but I forgot. It's taking up a little bit of my income, but it's okay. We'll just wait.
It's not a big deal. This is the ideal strategy to where we found everything we needed on the first cycle, and you could just wait out a bunch of money and roll. From here, you're going to see a lot of teleporting and a lot of fighting.
Okay. We want to... Oh, I gotta actually cast erase control spells. 2 is enough. I don't know. I always tend to go 3 just for the heck of it. And we buy a crazy army for the beginning of the game from the king here with our raise control spells. They boost our leadership. Look here, it's 760. It's probably right now is about 200 normally. So, and now we use our magic to figure out to go to get these. Let's see. All right. And you can see our army's a little bit better than it was a minute ago. Our first target's in this castle over here. I don't have any castle gate spells on me, so I'll just go to the town next door. All the same. And this is where we start fighting all the bad guys.
Did you get Marie's contract?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more compulsive about that than I think you are, where I always have a contract, but I'm so afraid of doing. Actually, let's get rid of those. There we go.
I didn't actually look before you went into the fight, so I got a little nervous.
Okay. Grab 3 of those.
Because I do that. Yeah, you know I do that a lot. Like, oh hey, I'm on PB pace until I forgot to take a contract.
Quickest way for me to get to this castle is pretty much where I started there. There's one I didn't tag before because it's in the middle of a desert and it takes a while to get. But yeah, I'm just going to be teleporting around. Actually, let me see. Do I have... I also do not have the map for the next continent yet, which is also important. means I can't progress in the game until I get it. So I'm going to go out of my way just a little to make sure I get that. Like right here, I'm going to wander around and just go through this desert, check all the chests here. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but it should be okay. Actually, what I should have done is I should have taken out the third villain before this one, because she's nearby. What do I have? I don't have the spells anymore because I grabbed those Castle Gate spells. Whoops. So once,
you probably burn one to get back. You're about to lose your raise control.
Yep. Elves would be nice, but that's not what I really want. There we go. Now I will this dance and go back to here. Get those. Yeah, see, it's the magic. The amount of spells you get at the beginning of the game is really small, so you have to be kind of careful about how you allocate them. That's what I was doing there. I was just being a little fancy, but works out.
And sometimes you got to juggle the magic, but after you get a couple promotions, it stops being an issue with the sorceress.
Yeah, we did pick the sorceress specifically for her magic access, which a lot of people don't have any spells at the beginning of the game. Here, now we get a promotion, and I can recruit even more people.
And cavalry.
Kind of, yeah, the cavalry is useful, but they're really expensive. So, alright, and where was this guy at again? Oh. F. Oh, that's Faxes. Well, I did tag it, so here we go.
And it doesn't matter which order you do the villains on the continent you're on. You just have to do the whole continent before you move on to the next one.
Right, this is...
In the progression category.
Yeah, this category is meant... this game's, like, you know, you usually think of any percent and 100%. It doesn't line up well with this game, because any percent is a 2-second category that you reset the game until you get lucky and you can find the item you need to beat the game.
Right at the start.
Yeah, right at the start.
And then 100% doesn't really fit because there was no really good way to gauge it aside from what we did with progression percent, pretty much. And then what is the any percent run, or well, not the any percent run, the low percent run, I guess it is. You find a map, you go. You find a map, you go.
Yeah, 100% you still wind up doing all of the same things, but with progression percent, it makes you actually fight the enemies in the same continent with what you have available instead of. I'm gonna get rid of this guy because he's later.
One of the big end arounds for this game is that if you find early maps, like you start a run, you find the map, you find a map, you find a map, and you have access to the whole game before you've done anything, having the end game stuff right away is always nice, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, you come back to Murray with, you know, dragons and murder hobos and...
This is our last villain in the continent. After this, we just have to find the bloody map, which has been eluding us. Now, a little careful about how I fight this fight, because these enemies are actually quite scary, or can be. The ghosts in particular worry me because they can absorb your fallen units. So if I sent that unit of 118 militia who are extremely weak, they're going to get completely clobbered by those ghosts, and the ghost units will just expand into a ridiculously high number. Probably lose the fight.
I think one of our favorite failures for this game was running into a guy that had 9,000 ghosts because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. All right, so now I need to double check all of the remaining chest locations, which I still have I still have a decent amount of army that I can wander through some of these areas. So I'm gonna have to fight a bunch of kind of nonsense fights, unfortunately. And this is just the randomness of the game.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't find on the first cycle was the map.
Yeah, but we don't have much of a choice. Have to go through and take a bunch of fights. Again, in a like I'm trying for world record sort of run, I'm resetting. But
yeah, you're in bad trouble against the world record unless you find it in the next minute or so.
Yeah, because my times aren't even.
You could still lose. I mean, you can still lose 3 or 4 minutes, but you're good about finding early flight. I never have been, so you can find early flight and make it up.
Now I can't fight anybody right now. I should actually just go ahead and go back over here and get my base control spells.
I mean, you can go get your promotion too.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's actually the best place for me to go to look for chests anyway. Get a promotion. I'm a mage.
And with the 2 promotions we just got, our leadership is now up to a point where it was when we initially cast the 3 raise control spells. That's the other reason I cast 3 is because I don't have to adjust my troops after the 2nd promotion. And Instant Army now also gives us elves.
The Instant Army spell, one of the spells we were looking for at the beginning of the game. It's very useful because later on you can spam it to get crazy good armies.
That's why raise control becomes so important, because the Instant Army synergy. Nothing quite like having an army of murder hobos running around. They're unstoppable, man.
Alright. I like how they fly to block the archers, but then they attack the pikemen. Alright, we didn't get that. Let's see, is it this one? This was where I meant to go, I just couldn't. I always forget the town names slightly. I don't have maps in front of me. Schmitty has made maps for the game. They're very wonderful, and I always forget that they exist, so I know right off the bat. But I've been playing this game since I was, maybe 8 or 10 or whenever it was that the Genesis came out. Although the game predates the Genesis itself, that's just when... There we go, we got our...
There it is. There it is, we're free.
Go back to... Get a bunch of those spells. Castlegate was here, grab a couple of those. Here. Wait to the end of the week. We want to have these spells up as long as possible. 3 again is fine. Every time I get more magic, I'm actually getting, gosh. Yeah, this is going to be real pricey, so I'm probably not even going to get the more expensive unit. We're just going to stick with what we have right now, because I have... We'll get Militia, because they actually hit really hard for how much they cost.
Yeah, just keep those away from the ghosts, my man.
Yeah. And we're going to the next continent. And hey,
on to Forestria.
Yes. Which... This is actually a bigger RNG for finding stuff than the first continent is, because there's so many chests tucked away in places. It's really hard to...
Hey, time stop.
I wrote that one down. I'm just gonna go ahead and... I'm not gonna use them yet, but I will in a little bit. I'll just spam all of them. There's a... Time stop's weird because it'll stop the weeks from populating, which is good. Also, something I forgot about, since I have... since I've gained access to... well, again... Thinking race control, I'm trying to remember the words on
Turn undead?
Yeah.
Or...
No. Oh, since I have raise control, I know I have that for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, since I have that spell, we time stop. We never have to wait till the end of the week, so I don't have to worry about my raise control disappearing on me.
Hey.
As long as that timer goes. But the second you touch desert, that timer kicks back. It resets to whatever it was before. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah, the moment you step on sand anywhere, time stop is nullified.
And you know what? I'm gonna fight this guy. I think I can get him. I'm not too worried about my.
Yeah, you should have enough.
Got a little confused for a second there. Go ahead and I did nothing.
Lightning's not very good.
Nope. I want to move next to the giants because they have a ranged attack. But holy cow, those pikemen are not doing anything. At least the militia are holding their own, even though they're going to get ripped apart too. They just
militia do a lot of work, man.
They have a pretty decent attack to attack power to hit point ratio. And something that's actually kind of weak in this game that I wouldn't say the developers overlooked, but it winds up that units. Lightning. Oh, I was hoping to get rid of them. Oh, that'll do. Lightning on those guys. Scary. Thank you for the good luck react. There we go.
Yeah, your militia just tearing them apart, huh?
Yeah. And capturing all these guys is getting me a decent amount of money too. Also good. Need to do anything in this. Money management is pretty crucial because if you screw things up, you'll wind up completely broke. If you can't pay the ridiculously overpowered forces that you have, they just disappear on you. Also, I forgot. I should be gathering money now. That was what I meant to say. Now that I know I have raise control, I should be taking money in every location. Instead of leadership. You want to take leadership normally in the game like 99% of the time. Because you can gather money other ways, but with this strategy, we're not making use of most of the days. If we are, it's for an army that the game doesn't intend for us to have.
Well, it looks like poor Estria is being its usual self with the map.
Yeah. Warp down here, let's check. So that means there's 2 spots left, and they're both in the corner, in different corners. I'm gonna have to charge through them, but it's also okay because we haven't found the map or anything. It's not like we're in go mode. This army is going to be really risky for the final guys. I might have to go get some more troops before that happens. The last guy here has an army of ghosts, and
yeah, I wouldn't take your current group against Ronaldus.
Yeah, he's the guy that's showing up in the top right corner. Like the whole right display here has a bunch of things that most of them are irrelevant and they just kind of get annoying. Like
I can explain them pretty quickly. The right side of the screen, it has the 5. It's basically 5 just at a glance kind of things. The top one is your current bounty, which is Prince Barrowfine right now. The second one I didn't get a good look at, but I know what it is when I look at it. It's telling you if you have bought siege weapons or not. The third one is whether or not you've unlocked magic. The fourth one is the map for finding the scepter. And the 5th one is kind of like a general how much money you have sort of deal.
Alright, well we got
the
sorry not to interrupt, but we do have the hardest guy down here, so I'm going to... That should be fun.
You have a turn on dead spell, right?
Yeah, I have 1.
Cool.
I'm going to do my pack. I couldn't remember what I was doing. There we go. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff you have to do really fast in the speedrun that you'd normally sit and put more thought into, so I can get jumbled up a little bit.
You found all the artifacts up to this point.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to get this contract. I remembered before I did it. So there's that at least. If you
Better about that to me.
Yeah, if you attack somebody without the right contract, they just get let go, and it's kind of sad. you feel really dumb about it.
They'll move to an unoccupied castle anywhere in the game, and that includes like going forward. I found out.
Oof. And we saw right there one of the worst things that can happen when you fight demons. They have the ability to just straight out half your army, and that's what they did. So,
yeah, that's painful.
That's okay. I just want to make sure I do not have the map yet, so I'm going to do a little bit of chest scrounging while I'm going up to the last castle. This one's just out in the middle of nowhere, so a good speedrun is you don't happen to have to worry about it. If you wonder why the enemies are just kind of standing around staring at me, that's another benefit of the time stop spell, which at times can be really bad because they block your way, but in this particular stretch it's just fine. Because
time stop is really bad in Saharia. It's the only place I really won't use time stop.
That forest area I was in just a little bit ago can be kind of annoying too, but you generally have to fight all of them, and it's hard to dodge them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Saharia, they just stand right in your way, and you either have to...
It's all sand anyway, you can't really use it. Even if you do, everything's in the way, no matter what. Saharia is kind of brutal if you don't get early flight.
Thank you for the good luck chosen. A lot of these chests are just, like, I know exactly what they are. If they aren't if it isn't just leadership points, you know, I'll just find it. So, what is the world record for this? Was initially, when I first came across it, was like an hour or two or something like that. And I managed to break the hour barrier, which is great. And then another guy, Gaunt13, came up with some different strats. Like, we weren't really using race control much at all. And then I hadn't beat him because I think he was like in the high 40 minutes. I don't need to check that town at all. And then I got Schmitty involved in the game. And then we both just started breaking the world record back and forth briefly until it is where it is now.
I'm just holding it for you.
Well, it is, I have more spells I can burn here. Let's just go ahead and waste some magic. There are a lot of good reasons to use these spells, but I want these spell slots for later. So, there we go.
So now we just need the map and we are done with the forest.
I am going to... Town gate. You may wonder how I'm able to do some of this stuff. The game, again, this used to be an MS-DOS game initially before it got ported over, so there's some funky things in relation to that, like the fact that all of the towns and cities, or the cities and castles in this game, all begin with a different letter of the alphabet. There are 26 of them, and it makes tracking... Oh, there's the map. I could have got that at any time. This is the first chest. I skipped it because I figured I would just go back to it anyway. But it makes tracking a lot easier.
Alright. So you've gotten the first 4 artifacts, and now we're actually getting to a place where the artifacts are going to matter. Mm-hmm. Archipelia is where, as I say, it gets real. Both artifacts on this continent are very, very good. The book and the sword. No, it's swords on 4. Both artifacts here are good. You really want the book. What the book will do is it'll double your total spell slots, and if you find an early book, like from that point, we just buy up a whole huge stock of spells and walk through the rest of the day. More race control.
Oh wait, that's in the middle. Never mind. Yep, we got plenty of things that we could buy in places. I don't need the race control because honestly, the amount that I got right now should be fine. Plus, I haven't really cornered the market on money yet. Archipelia is... did I beat this game when I was 10? Probably, yeah. Casually, this game isn't too tricky because the win condition is not nearly as difficult. Yeah, I'm not going to fight that guy. The last 2 enemies in this particular island are much more difficult than the first 2. So I would have to build up my army a little bit to be able to do it. And I'm not quite there. I can get this one.
The interesting thing about this game is, I mean, it has a linear kind of a world build, but everything in it is always totally different. You don't, like, sometimes you need to get certain things, and other times you don't. Like, there have been runs where, like, I get 4 pieces of the map off, and I look at it and I can tell you where it is, and I can go find it right then. If you can recognize the map, like where the map's telling you, you don't really need to do all the whole game to beat it.
Oh my god. Not gonna lie. I got my my poor guys got halved again. The demons.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a less than 1 in 10 chance, but I had bad luck with it.
They got you twice so far. That's rough.
Yeah. As you can see, my army numbers have dipped a little bit. We're not quite rolling as high as we were. So. Rid of them. Yes, this game does have a heavy randomizer element to it, which is good and bad. It makes the replay value through the roof, I think, because...
It makes speedrunning it a little stressful.
Yeah. And there's our crown.
Hey, the Crown of Command. That's the other one, the Crown. The Crown effectively doubles your leadership, and with the double spell slots from the book, and basically double effect from raise control, the game's over. You can also go get your last promotion, can't you? You can get Murder Hobos right now.
I've only got 1 promotion, or 1 villain in this continent so far. I gotta get 2.
Oh yeah, you gotta get 1 more.
You just sit there. I probably need to get some more troops. Okay, so I got that tagged, so I can go back there. Hey, there's our map.
Hey. You're about in go mode, my friend.
Yeah. You know what? Just do that. Whoops, wrong spell. That wastes the spell, by the way, so really good. Do that. I'm just gonna fight this guy, who's here. And I'm gonna do it by buying some knights. Knights are ultra expensive, but that should be enough.
Yeah.
They are. I gotta change my contract too. There we go. And oh yeah, Papist. There we go.
Alright.
Teleport the knights, because the knights have really terrible movement. But it doesn't matter if they're already next to the enemies.
You just basically stuck your thumb in his eye. Those knights ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't need him. Let's see. Let's just get rid of the units we can. Those peasants up there aren't going to do a whole lot, but they can hit kind of hard. Get rid of them. Again, the weaker units are usually kind of scary for offense, but not so much defense that you start ripping through them once you attack them. And so I can get my final promotion. I think I'm going to not do that yet, though. I'm going to go ahead and get our last, get this guy out of the way, kind of rip my army a little bit weaker before I do it. I don't need to check any chests. Money-wise, I'm going to solve that problem here in a minute. I knew this guy had to be here because it was the only place I hadn't checked yet. Now we're just gonna have to ignore these guys for a minute. And dragons are the only thing that's really stronger than knights. Oh, crap.
I would argue that druids are stronger than knights.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on how you come across them, I suppose.
Like an equal number of druids, if they're starting on other sides of a fight, like I think the druids will win because of their magic. The knights can't get to them fast enough usually.
those guys.
Archmages are definitely stronger than knights, but we can't get a reliable source of them, unfortunately.
I'm glad you like the music trails. The battle music's pretty good. The other music I would say is okay. So
oh come on, man! The overworld song's a banger. Let it get stuck in your head.
That, and then we get instant army spells, which I forgot to get the promotion, so I don't quite have as many as I wanted. Here, get our promotion. Basically, it gives you like 30 more spell slots. So
you should go find the book. Man.
Yeah.
Double your spell slots again.
I'm not gonna worry about it too much just yet. What am I looking for? Oh. I need to, So the army we're getting right now are druids. Druids are the type of unit you get from instant army spells depends on your rank, which is different depending on each class. So right now I have an army of 506 druids, which is pretty good, but they're out of control, so I need to buy some spells. I shouldn't need half of these.
Well, I'd probably cover it.
Okay. And then let's go through and get our remaining miscellaneous spells. That should be enough of those. Castle Gate will end. Go. What's this guy at? Tylich. So, Castle Gate to Tylich. I don't have any spells, that's right. Unfortunately, I'm gonna get a visit from the dragons, but you see those 506 druids just completely nuked that giant unit. Now they can't zap the dragons, but they still outmuscle them at these numbers. Even though dragons have something like 200 hit points, insanely high attack power, they're pretty vicious.
Yeah, dragons are brutal, and also peasants and another class can't even deal damage to them at all in any numbers.
Yeah, peasants and sprites are too weak to even do damage to. It's kind of funny. I forgot. The weak thing about druids is that they only have a few magic casts, so we're gonna just drop them off here in Tylich. We're gonna town gate back to Hunterville. Do all of this, and we're gonna sail to the last continent.
Alright.
In any other type of playthrough of this game, you want to get here as soon as possible, because you're basically guaranteed to get a flying unit here. The reason why I got rid of those druids is because I'm going to ditch whatever unit I have left once I find a unit that can fly. And when I can fly, that means I literally can fly around the world map.
Yeah, our early flight is like the dream for this speedrun. Like the second map, Forestry, I believe we've encountered flight there one time ever.
Yeah. I've actually seen it twice total now, but neither have been in this. Well, actually, the first one was this category. It was when I first took the world record. I kind of felt like I cheated, and then realized there were actually just a bunch of strats that you could do that went faster. So, but yeah, when I'm looking for it, you notice I've skipped most of the places where you can recruit troops, because I don't need to recruit any. Here I do. And flying units only can appear recruitable in this continent. However, they can appear loose as units that will join you in other ones. So I tagged that castle. Basically, this continent is find a flying unit, tag all of the castles, and get to... here we go. One vampire.
That's all we need.
Dismiss army archers, and look, I'm flying. That is all it takes. So I don't need any of these chests. I don't need anything except for the relics and to tag these castles. This place is a lot of fun to kind of do casually. If you need money, hey, look, they're next to each other.
Wow. Right on top of each other. That's awesome.
Yeah. So then all I have to do is fly down here, tag this last guy,
So the two artifacts he just found increased his combat power by 50% and increased his magic power by 5 times 2.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go find the missing relic, which the reason why I didn't worry about it before is because it's a little quicker to find with a flying unit than manually.
This is why early flight is the dream. If you find this in Forestria, you're gonna blow my world record away.
Yeah, that's definitely the big RNG element of the game that can come into play. You can see, like, we're not really on pace to meet. I mean, you know what? I think I'm comparing. Yeah, 37 minutes. I'm not on pace to get that here, but okay. I missed something. Oh, there it is. I missed.
There it is. There's the book. So the book just doubled his spell slots.
Okay.
Basically, any unit that can fly, vampires, demons, dragons. Is there another one that I'm forgetting? But you just need one of them, and if they're the only unit you have, you can fly.
Okay. I was trying to remember where I had to go. And here we get an example of what happens if you
Don't go back there, by the way.
Yeah,
those things are loose. Those things are loose now.
That was a mistake. Let's see, where do I want to go then? I'm gonna go to Zockton. Get some of these. And then we're going to go back to Riverton. Yeah, that's what the raised control spells are for. I forgot that the enemy was there. Oh, I'm getting way too many of these. I'm just gonna sail over to where the town is. Because those druids are live right there.
Yeah, those druids are free, and the people of King's Haven should be mad at you.
Yes.
You just set loose 500 murder hobos outside of their town.
Yeah, they will kill me, so we'll see if this is enough. Usually a little over 1,000 is plenty, depending on demon shenanigans, but I can go faster than this. Tap fast. See, this is speedrun strats. Just mash the button. If you don't want to mash it too much, because then you'll go past it. Let's see, what do we have? That should be enough. Get rid of those peasants. Now we use raise control spells. I'll just use half. It should be enough.
You got the crown. It shouldn't take more than 20.
Okay. So, contract Spokana. Use Magic Castlegate to... Did I run out? No, I didn't. Okay. And now...
It's on.
So, we want to target the demons. They are the biggest risk here because they can annihilate my entire force. Fortunately, I have to fight the 5,000 peasants that are there. Going to this town because I need to get a few of those. I forgot where his contract was. Zaz or Zaz? Or something like that. I don't know.
I call it Castle Z.
Yeah. Alright. And demons. Get rid of the demons.
Behold the glory of an army of murder hobos. I mean... Oh, these druids are so good.
There we go. I want to zap the knights instead of fighting them, because I did lose a few. Let's see. Go back here. It doesn't matter which town I select. Get the contract, and then Uzar, which is here.
900's enough?
I hope so. If not, I'll just have to come back. It won't be that big of a deal.
No, you'll kill at least 90% of his force with them.
Yeah,
Probably,
it looks like I might be a little short. No, we didn't quite get it, but I'll just have to buy some more instant army spells and do it again.
But the nice thing is, all the damage he just did is going to carry over.
Yeah.
So... You go back, he's only going to have those 100 dragons instead of the 500 dragons or whatever he started with.
And to comment what you're saying in chat there, in the when you're a kid, you're probably not thinking about doing some of the outrageous stuff that I'm doing right now. I probably don't need to cast that many. I figured out something yesterday in practice that you can do, where you can soft lock the game, more or less, by accidentally going into battle with an army of druids that's more than you can possibly can control. There's a leadership cap in the game, even with race control, that you can hit, that I had never done before.
And once you get too many, you'll never get them back. And if you turn 2,500 druids over to one of these bosses, you're in trouble, man.
Yeah, if you're out of control, and this is a thing too. Lightning does not work on dragons. You can't actually use magic on dragons. So it's a little complicated. But you'll see, this is the hardest boss of the game. It's very difficult to beat this guy casually. It takes some doing. So we're going back to Tylich. Oops.
Get some revenge on the giants here.
Kill some random stuff. Also that. We'll remove our one vampire so we can fly. The real way to beat the game is you have to find where the puzzle piece is.
I think I know where that is.
I think I do too. But is it right here? This might not be enough.
It's either there or by Kingshaven. It's one of those two. It's gotta be. I think you're right though. Or you would see the town, wouldn't you?
Nope, there it is.
Oh, hey, GG.
That is the run. So memorizing the entire world map is important, but you have time at the end of the game. We had 651 days left. But yeah, that's GG. Very... That was like 44 and a half minutes, not bad. I got the wrong split. Let me...
Hey, I mean, the world record a year ago was almost 20 minutes longer than that, so...
Yeah. What is... I don't even remember what it is now. It's been so long since I've... Yeah, the world record for this category is 34 minutes by Schmitty there. I got a 37 myself. You could probably see some of the various places where we lost a bunch of time. Yeah, it was like a huge bounce back and forth like 3 months ago when we were really pushing. So...
I'm just keeping the chair warm for you. You'll get it back eventually.
Thank you for the GG trails. So that ended very early. I am generally under the impression that we are not ready for them. Let me check with our hosts on that, because there's something else I can do with the game to kind of show off if it comes down to that. Thank you for the GG salad.
It's too bad you don't have a save state outside of Megas. Show everybody the 20,000 ghosts problem.
Oh gosh. That would be fun. Another thing we joked about, and I asked them to see if they want us to stop. But yeah, there's a whole score thing. New World Computing, the company that made this, also did Might and Magic series. And this game itself is kind of the precursor to the Heroes of Might and Magic series. Oh, thank you, Minva. But it was one of those companies that were like, yeah, just mail in your stuff, your scores, and we'll give you a thing. So, not on the game anymore. But
that I wouldn't mail in that score.
No, that is a terrible score. Yeah.
But it's still a really good time.
Yeah, that's not bad. We had decent luck, but not amazing luck. There's a few like fun things you can kind of do. You go ahead and restart the timer. This again, right now I'm just kind of goofing around to wait to see if they're ready for us, because we started early and ended really early. Sprites do not count. Apparently they are too light.
Sprites are flying units, but they the excuse they have in the manual is that they're not big enough to carry you.
Even 5,000 of them. Or else, you know, you can find sprites anywhere. In fact, the sorcerer starts with them as a unit, but the different difficulties here increase the score. I'm gonna start the timer just as this is my attempt at an any percent run. Just kind of fun. Which, of course, the first thing you do. These are what the puzzle pieces look like normally. As you get every relic, every villain, they disappear. Nope.
Reset.
You'll notice the colors are different. I'm not going to track anything. Oops. Actually wanted that. But, yes. Yoo-hoo, top tier, 100% agree there. It's like chocolate milk, except if you're, you know... And hey, we found the ring, so I can look at the puzzle pieces. Oh, I know exactly where that... No, I don't. But, you can... Especially as you're more familiar with the game, you can actually beat it a whole lot quicker. If you want to. Oh, look. I might have to fight some people, but I'm going to avoid it if I can. Because it doesn't really do anything for me. This is no longer progression percent, this is me goofing around percent. So what I want to do is check all the chests as quickly as possible. Find a map. Once I find the map, I go to the next continent. Find a map, go to the next continent. Schmitty, I don't think you've played this on the higher difficulties, have you?
Well, a couple of times, but I always ran out of time.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is that
Articles.
There's less days, but the time actually ticks faster too. You have something like time goes 4 times as fast, I think, on Impossible or. So...
Time stopped. Time stopped.
Oh, was that there?
No, it's just what I would be after an Impossible. Times that progressive. You know, time stop becomes like number 2 behind raise control.
Yeah, so.
Because I have to burn 150 days getting money with my strats, so time stop. Although any percent, you don't really have to do that, right? You just go to Saharia and you start recruiting big stuff, and then you come back with big stuff.
Yep, pretty much. That is the strats in. You said any percent. Any, you really mean 100%, but
yeah, 100%. Any percent is start the game, search, reset when you fail until you actually get it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the puzzle pieces can be. Actually, let me check.
The scepter could be laying right out in front of his castle.
Yep, it is one of the locations. And there, I don't know how many different seeds there are for the game. Somebody went in and broke the whole thing down. But there's so many options, I can't even get the thing to load right on the screen. It's completely debilitating how much stuff there is. So.
You gotta give these developers credit for the number of different options this game presents.
Again, this is a port from a DOS game. Graphically, it's a whole lot better. Musically, it's a whole lot worse. Because this overworld song gets to be real bad. You know, about the 20th time you've heard it. Because it never changes. We're not finding a map. It's just kind of disappointing. I was hoping I could get like the whole map slingshot and just go straight through to the end, but
oh, this game ain't that cooperative.
No. Also, I should have been tracking the spells because now I don't even know what to get to look for stuff.
But in an actual 100% run, you would have reset a long time ago. It's this is kind of uncharted waters, you know.
100%. Oh, speaking of uncharted waters, that's another fabulous speedrun. That hey, look, time stop spells.
Hey.
So I could just these would be a common thing to cast, although my magic power is really weak right now, and it's something that's impacted by it. Oh, what's this? Ooh, jeez.
It's a good thing you had time stop up. You'd be dead.
Yeah.
Those dwarves would punish your poor peasants. I like how towns have random monsters dancing. Yeah. I always like that a little bit in this game too.
So I always find this to be the quickest way to death warp. To to go back to the castle, just die.
Give up.
Okay. So without even bothering with like some sort of souped up army through spells, I will just grab what I can from the castle here and go up and try to fight some stuff.
If you start the game with a character other than the sorceress, you kind of have to do this first. Because this is where you unlock magic.
Yeah. So you can see this isn't very speedy, but...
No, this is more how the game developers intended, instead of what we've turned it into.
Yeah. I get it. The random nonsense they like to throw up on the screen to make you fight around. I was actually hoping it would kill off the peasants. I don't really want them. So I can get some wolves. Actually, I don't want wolves. I didn't realize this was a fight. I thought they were going to join me. There we go.
I kind of like wolves in the casual playthrough. They're alright. They're not great, but for a speedrun, no. No, they can stay on the bench.
Oh yeah, you probably played this on... I think there's a DOS and a Windows 95 version. There's definitely speedrun options for both on the boards. Okay, this is a big old dead end. Yeah. Wolves are they're a good unit because they have a lot of attack power compared to their hit points. Which means you can recruit a lot of them.
Like they'll rip up peasants, sprites, zombies, you know, regular tier 1, tier 2 stuff pretty easily.
I already went down. Yeah, this is a Sega game. They're all on all three systems. The reason why I didn't want to grab wolves is because this game actually has a somewhat complex morale system built in.
Yeah.
Which again, if you're familiar with the Heroes of Might and Magic series, this game was kind of the predecessor to it. Made by the same company, New World Computing, which eventually was bought out by 3DO. Oops. Pass. I meant to hit magic. And I hit pass again. These guys are annoying. There we go. There we go. Sneak in here and hopefully the chest isn't...
Where is this map?
Well, we had similar luck in the run a minute ago. You can also teleport enemies to you. It's actually a really neat spell. I would say it doesn't have a lot of use in the speedrun except in situations like where I used it, where you have a knight unit that will take forever getting to an enemy and you need to block off their flying units from being able to rush you. Flying units cannot fly if they start adjacent to an enemy. They have to physically walk wherever they're going, so...
I have also been known to teleport archmages and dragons into and out of combat when they're annoying me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's, okay, there's a chest up here, so let's see. Get to it without getting this guy? Nope. Not quite.
That's a tough one to get around right there.
That's one thing in the MS-DOS version. It's actually a whole lot easier to do stuff like that because the game doesn't work in active time in that game. Everything moves when you move, and you can kind of juke out the enemies pretty easily.
All the juice.
I don't know why I attacked them.
I mean, this version sometimes it's pretty brutal. The way they box you in, they just never stop coming.
I already went that way.
I think he did.
Why is there a T-Rex star with stubby? Trying to think. Hey, there's the
There
map.
it is.
So we're just going to.
I think he
Give
was.
up. That's the quickest way to get out of there.
I think he was talking about that. The giant.
Okay. Forestia is, again, if you're looking just for maps to try to finish the game as quickly as possible, this is challenging because there's a lot of stuff that can kind of be in.
And there are a lot of really deep hidden pits and cracks to hide stuff in on this map too.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the pentagram. That is enabled when we have magic, and it decides to show itself by flashing constantly the entire game.
It just basically denotes that that magic has been unlocked. We start with the sorceress, so we don't have to do it, but every other starting character has to unlock magic before they can use it.
And,
It's kind of their drawbacks for being stronger or making more money based on the character.
I'm just kind of goofing around at this point, trying to do what somebody might do as a run on their own. Mainly because I'm not sure that we ended quite early, and I'm not sure our hosts have realized it. I've thrown out a message to them and asked them what they want me to do, because part of this was in games like this where it's a randomizer setting, it's possible to end a lot earlier than they estimate.
Yeah. And you weren't, terribly off the world record. You were in the ballpark, so it went pretty quick.
It wasn't a terrible run, but it could have went a lot worse. Especially if you don't get the raise control spell, you have to do a lot of kind of grinding out of stuff, and it can be a problem. But and anything down here, what you're kind of seeing now is like pain percent. What you have to do if things don't go well.
Now you got to search out the bottom and the right side forest.
Yeah, because I think we have about 30 minutes until the next run's supposed to start. And we're not sure the other guy's around because he was actually here before me. Magius has another run. And I think he was filling in time before me, and then he'll be back here. So, yeah, 5 minutes or 5 hours. Not a bad way to put it.
Yeah, without raise control, your farming boxes the whole game. At least in progression percent, your farming boxes the whole game for leadership until you get to Archipelia, and you get the crown.
Yeah.
Up to that point, you're kind of fighting even money with every boss. It's rough.
It's a mountain. Here. So yeah, this is, I'm gonna call these dad strats because my father played this game a lot when I was a kid, and he kind of showed me how to do a lot of these things, whether he intended to or not. And you'll see, I'm just gonna coax this guy down here. Yeah, you come down here. And then I'm gonna skip him. And there is one more guy up here. I've played the game so much that I have like... Oh no, there's not. Cool. So each one of these puzzle pieces is actually useful. That is almost enough that I can figure out where this is.
I think I have an idea too.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
in this
messed up.
this exact area.
I
wouldn't be
think
surprised.
you're right. I think you're right. I was just thinking that looks familiar.
Yeah.
It's weird how you can just get a view for it after playing the game enough times.
Yeah. This is we've had bad RNG as far as finding stuff the way we'd want to, but I don't want to recruit any of those. Maybe I should pay attention a little bit because I might have to go in and bust some skulls. Oh, that guy's gonna join me. I'll take him. Dwarves.
And the way we know if something's going to join us or not is we actually do know where all of the what I call the populated boxes are.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's an enemy in a place where you know is usually a treasure box, 100% that is going to join you, because that's what came out of that treasure location. It's not an enemy. It just takes a lot of like playing through the game and learning where stuff is, but you'll start to know like, oh, that should be a treasure box, so that thing's gonna try and join me. You know, it's
again, it's a randomizer, but it's not a randomizer. It's like the overworld is the same, locations of things are the same.